Hi there, Joe Drake here with Mechanic Man Manufacturing, developer and creator of Filter Buddy, and in this little video segment I'm going to go over the videos of the first mold design, injections, all the way up to successful Filter Buddy production. In this video, and they're going to be pretty crude, it was when I first started to kind of get the idea that I should be documenting these videos, so I hope you enjoy them, learn how to make small jigs. If you want to know how to make big ones, go ahead and check out the first video, or go straight to the second part of a video series on liquid silicone injected molds that are 3D printed at scale. So I hope you enjoy. Essentially right now it's really crude. I mix A and B, pour it into here, going to let it off gas because it gets little bubbles. And then I have the valve, 1/4 inch NPT to the mold. So as you can see here on the outer edges, there's a little bit of bubbles caused from the injection process, but this was the first successful one pulled out of a mold. This is the setup for the prototype JIG, what I'm calling that you can stack multiple molds within the jig, clamp it into place, observation holes for when the fluid rises up through the moat, and then we have the system itself. We have resin degassing right now, flows through selectable 3-way L valve. We can select resin. We're going to feed to both of these at the same time to make sure that they do fill in unison. Once that's done, we'll turn the valves off to complete filling. From there, we will disconnect this system and we will purge the rest of this out. In the normal system, this will be A and B, so the only thing that will really be wasted will be from the line, the static mixer, up to this port. This is a cleaning port that comes from the cleaning line from our solvent tank, which our solvent turned out white. I'm not sure what the fuck that's all about. It says paint thinner, but it was really thick. I don't know. It's thinning with other shit. Anyway, that'll hook back up to here, so then you will select the cleaning system via this way. You will purge the A and B that's cured in the line with air into the dump tank via a manifold. Once that's done, you will shut air back off. Turn on the cleaning line, which will automatically clean this little section here just by turning this valve from where the A and B was. It will go through here, back down into the bottom, through the L valve here, where the A and B had gotten purged out. It will flow down here to the manifold where there is a purge valve and then a return valve. You'll shut the purge valve, open the return, and then that will return your fluid back to the tank. This will allow you to basically clean the whole system of A and B. Once that's done, you will shut off your feed line from the cleaning system, and then you will turn on air, which will essentially do the same thing. It will just pump air back into the tank, evacuating all of the solvent, cleaning the system, drying it, and basically readying it for the next run. So we would unhook this line from your feed tube, hook up a new feed tube that would have the static mixer in line with it from over here, and you would continue to be able to open this jig. Obviously this is a crude version, screwing this jig in. Latches will have to be something different, along with the frame, the box, and the table entirely. But using a simple all-thread system with nuts, a push block, some supports, you could potentially add a third one in here with the holes the way that I drilled them because of these locations now. It was just for a test run. Obviously, if this passes, we're going to go to a big 4x8 table. So, interesting stuff. Here we go. Okay, so I got the injection done. A few issues that I noticed. One, it takes an immense amount of pressure. My full body weight with 500 milliliters to fill 2 buddies took like 10, 15 minutes. So yeah, there's that. These do not fill at the same rate. So doing one row, 7 or 8, 9 at a time, and moving down the row, plugging into this port here and having your solvent from a generic manifold and your air from a generic manifold. That way, as you can see now, the 2 molds are filled, and don't mind the leaks because I need to seal these better. It's running in clean mode. So this is the port, as you can tell with the white. I don't know what the fuck's up with the stuff. It was white and thick as a paint thinner, like a brand new bottle of fucking paint thinner, cleans and thins. I don't know, it was nasty. Anyway, it is pumping. It is slow yet steady, but as you can tell from the blue color that is the resin, it has completely cleaned the entire system. It is free. This is the last bit, which would have been where you inject from or into, and it is all cleaned. Again, having some pretty good leaks because I didn't do my shit. So it's working. So essentially, now you would take my finger was the feed line from your static mixer. You would simply just, turn it off, unplug it, and then move down the line. You would essentially have to have one of these setups for each row, along the table. So this system will work. 1, 2, yeah. This system will work for now. And then you could go down while it cleans. Eventually you could have all of them in a cleaning cycle. And then once that's done from your main compressor line, you would essentially turn off your solvent. You would turn on your air and it would pump everything back to your solvent tank. You would dry out the system entirely for the next run. So making progress. All right, I wanted to catch it before it actually starts going through. This is my first test with pneumatic power. And look at it go. And I don't have to do any of the work. So I don't know how much pressure that is, and I don't really want to push my luck because I'm just using a paint canister and feeding air pressure to it from my doodad, and we'll see how long it takes it to fill up. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so that's been sitting for about 5 minutes to off gas, and I don't know the best way to do this. We're just gonna set you there. Hope you guys can see. So this is the pressure side of my cap. And again, I know this is just a crude way of doing it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and just don't think about it too much. Just make it happen. Whatever your dream is, you just make a plan, do it, make it real. So anyway, all right. So this is all pressurized. We're gonna feed into this. Well, the fluid is here at this union somewhere. You can kind of see it start to come out. And as we introduced pressure to this, it's gonna take off. There he goes. And normally that would split to both of them, or 7 of them, but with one shut off, of course, it's gonna go into this one. So we're at 1 minute and 10 seconds or whatever on my camera here. So what we're gonna do is we're basically just gonna watch this together, and I hope you kitties at home can see what's going on. This stand's kind of bogus, but hope you get the gist of it. Anyway, it is currently pressurizing. I have my little handy dandy flashlight here so to better illustrate, and both. Oh, there it is. Boom. Bow. Look at it. It is going a lot faster than I'm giving it credit. I'm just being impatient, but you can see bubbles, which I'm sure it's going to be full of its own little fucking bubbles of sorts. Anywho, I'll let this fill. So then you just turn it off. Oh, I gotta turn this off. Right. Whew. So that's it. And since it's filled by pressure, I haven't had any real issues with like leaking. I mean, as far as leak down for any reason. Anywho, ta-da! And so now the cleaning part. That took approximately 10 minutes at that rate. So obviously if you why isn't this thing fucking working? I apologize for this shenanigans. Here we go. God, this thing's kind of weird. You guys can see the bubbles. There we go. They go down, they go through, they go all around, and they go in, and then they come out. And somewhere it comes into here through that hose that just started to flow. And that will clean the system. It's just mineral spirits. You can see a couple of bubbles going through there, whatnot. But that's the gist of it. And it cleans both, runs to your accumulator, and then the feed line back to here, and you let it do its thing. And that will stay full. Come back in 5 or 6 hours, and you have a usable part. The tricky part is cleaning this. But when I have my machine, we won't have to fuck with this. As you can see from the video, I started out pretty crude with minimal items to build from, and I made it work. 1 or 2 mold jigs are pretty cheap to build. You can go down to Home Depot and Ace Hardware and get all the components that you need to. So if you want to learn more about how to make a mold that will fit into a jig, such as what you just observed, moving on to the full-size version, which I shortly after these videos developed, made, and now I produce filter buddies at scale with 3D printed molds with silicone injection machine. So I hope you enjoyed these couple of videos. I'm going to be releasing more information on how to do this, the jig, the setup. There will be videos on 3D printing and techniques, your 3D print software from Cura to how you're going to design it in Fusion 360 or whatever computer-aided drafting software that you decide to use. So give a like, give a follow. If you have any questions or you have an idea, reach out to us. I'd love to help. Do it here, do it there. I'm not sure how the YouTube thing works yet. So please give a like, a share. Head on over to mm-manufacturing.com to check out Filter Buddy, more videos, and to get yours today.